Hello, everyone. Jeanette from Vision and Heels. I'm excited about today's chat with Mr. De La Vega himself. As a newbie to the downtown DeLand area and business, I was super excited when I had the opportunity to meet Manny, and now we know each other, on a different level, which has been a privilege and an honor. So before I get more into that, I'll let him tell us a little bit about himself. So welcome, Manny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Manny De La Vega, been in the land for almost 20 years now.
Wow.
I had the restaurant with my sister for the same amount of time, 20 years, and in downtown DeLand. So we've been lucky to be part of this community. And more recently, I'm venturing out into what a lot of people don't know about me, which is business advisory, business consulting, which I've been doing for a long time, but officially now I'm going to be dedicating myself to that a little bit more.
And that's such an amazing thing. You are the proof of it, right? So not only are you offering it to other business owners, you can say, I've tried it, I've lived it, I survived it, I'm here, and are willing to help others, which is amazing. So tell us about your amazing restaurant. If you've been to any of Vision and Heels events that we host here as our private events, Manny has given us amazing food. I mean, just everything he sends over, we love, and there's never anything left. The sangria over there is amazing too. I keep trying to get the secret ingredients, but I haven't been able to get that from Manny or his sister. But tell us about your restaurant, the type of food you offer.
Sure. Yeah, so we have De La Vega, wine, tapas, and sangria.
Yes.
So my sister and I wanted to create a space where we can share our background, Latin fusion cuisine.
So it's not one particular type.
It's not one particular.
I love it.
We were born in Mexico City.
Okay.
But she married a Costa Rican, and I married a Venezuelan.
Wow.
And all our families pretty much cook. My mom's a great cook. My sister, obviously, my wife, my daughter now. So cooking is in the family. So we wanted to bring a lot of different blends from different Latin American countries, and we have accomplished that with the tapas place that we have. We use traditional ingredients, but we give her our modern twist, and that's what my sister's very talented at doing that. So
she is.
Yeah.
She is. So it's a family business.
Family business, me and my sister.
Okay. And tell us, well, you've been in business 20 years?
Almost 20 years, yeah.
In the same location?
Same location.
Downtown DeLand.
Downtown DeLand.
How did that happen? Because 20 years is a long time in the restaurant business.
It is.
You don't hear that too often anymore.
You don't, no. And considering we've been through the pandemic recently and the 2008 economic
How did
downturn.
you guys survive?
Well, with a lot of, a lot of it I discovered when you're a business owner and you know this, you need the passion for it. The passion will carry you through anything, as long as you don't quit.
Right.
Quit.
That's the key. Don't quit.
We have been, wanting to quit a few times over the 20 years,
right.
Especially with so much uncertainty and things like that. But that's something that Nora has been really good on. Nora has not let me quit ever. She's very awesome. Strong, and of course it's her passion is cooking, so she loves what she does every day, and I love leading the teams, doing the whole business part of it, which has been a great opportunity for me and a great pleasure to learn, to make mistakes, to learn from other people, and now to try to pass it on and educate all the people in little or much that I have learned, mostly by making a lot of mistakes and and listening to people that smarter than me, that have been there, done that, and I found that that's the best way to learn.
I love that. So tell us about your staff. How many do you have employed for you?
Right now we have about 25 employees. Yeah, 25 employees. A lot of them have been with us for a long time. We just celebrated a 15-year anniversary.
Wow.
We have a lot of people at 8 years, 9 years, so we don't have a lot of rotation. even during the pandemic. And we take pride of that because that's one of the things that we love to do. We love to take care of our staff, and they become like family and they become loyal. At the same time, we treat them like employees because
Right.
sometimes they say, well, employees are like family.
Right.
Yes and no,
Right.
because in a family you can never get kicked out,
Right.
even if you don't like your family.
Right.
But in a business, you can't
Right.
at some point,
Right.
and there are certain things that you have to do, and you have to be considerate of your other employees, and you have to perform, and you have to take care of customers. And as long as that is happening, we're good with the
Right.
family.
Right.
But if it doesn't, then then we need to find somebody else that fit in our culture that we call. And that's how we've been maintaining good teams, even though people have come and go.
Right.
And our core employees stay there, but we have a lot of people come and go because we maintain that structure and that security for them
Right.
that they're there.
Right, right. That's awesome. And I've been witness to this. Last year, you guys had a event hosted here, and he doesn't only talk the talk; he walks the walk. I've seen him in action. I was kind of behind the scenes, making sure you and your staff were good. But he really cares about his staff, from everything to making sure the music is what they wanted. He wanted different types of music to cater to their background, to their just everything, right? He made sure they were happy, they wanted to dance. Let's make room for them to dance. I mean, he cared about every single little detail. What type of food? Make sure they had something to drink. So I can definitely say you're not just talking the talk, you walk the
thank you.
walk. So that definitely speaks to your 20-year success in business here in downtown DeLand. Now, I guess that's a perfect opportunity for you to tell us what else you're doing, because I know you're helping other business owners. Tell us about this other venture. What's the name of it? Just tell us about it.
Yeah, well, it's called Vega Advisors, but mostly I've always been kind of like a visionary, and I know the show is about that. And when I was struggling with my business in the beginning, I looked for different ways to make the business operations easier. And I started hanging out with a lot of great entrepreneurs. And then I found that a lot of us entrepreneurs mostly struggle with two things, which is employees
Yep.
and with systems, creating systems so we can grow our businesses. And it turns out that those are the things that I'm most passionate about.
Right.
So, and now I do what is called System and Soul, which is an operating framework. Operating frameworks are kind of new, only about 10 years or maybe a little bit more than that, which are a framework that you put into the business that allows you to streamline operations and create better employee cultures. And it's just having remarkable results in a lot of small companies, bigger companies. We talk about bigger companies, thousands of employees.
Wow.
And so I wanted to be part of that. So I went ahead and said, you know what, the System of Soul is what I'm about. I'm about systems, I'm about soul, which is the people.
Yes.
And I want to be an advocate of that. And since I lived it myself, I wanted to provide this education and coaching so people can stop struggling managing employees and struggling creating systems so they can grow their businesses. Because those were the two things that made a big difference in my business, to maintain it and to grow it. When I got a hold of my employees and good management systems around that, and creating processes and procedures, that's when the business kind of got stabilized and then started growing. And that's how we survive downturns.
Right.
Because you have the structure, the foundation.
Right.
So when things happen, you just wait. For the pandemic, we just waited.
Right.
And then we realigned, and then after that, we just continued doing what we were doing. So
Wow.
yeah.
And I loved what you said. You mentioned that we're a show on visionaries, right? So I was once told, when you structure your business, don't structure it to where you're at today. Always look to where you want to take your business. And it's so important. Systems, processes, you need to incorporate that, right? So if you're trying to scale your business, it's really important that you have these systems in place that's going to help you scale. right? So if you get the increase of revenue, are you going to be able to satisfy it, right? And not, lose business because you're not able to fulfill that. So I assume that you work with all types of industries, not just the restaurant industry.
Correct.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, because the biggest benefit is most of the time businesses are so busy doing the day-to-day operations, even if they have a team.
Yeah.
And they're putting out fires that they don't do exactly what they need to do.
Right.
Most of them don't know where they need to grow.
Right.
And how they need to grow because they're so busy just maintaining what they have, whether it's little, medium, or big. And this is exactly what I do mostly, is strategic planning made easy, where you show them the way to where they need to grow. But it's not theory only, you actually provide the tools for them so they can apply those tools and implement those tools today so they can get there in a very short amount of time. Actually, by having the right tools, you can grow in a short amount of time.
Wow, that's awesome. And you mentioned people and systems. I think that is the soul of any business. Doesn't matter what the industry is, right?
That's
you
exactly
need people to operate your business, and you need some sort of system to make sure you can operate, right? And make sure that your folks have the tools that they need to effectively make it happen. So when you talk about the people, you mentioned culture. So what do you do to identify? Is it through like personality tests, or is it, how do you know the person's the right fit for the role when you're doing those type of
Yeah, the biggest aha moment for me was that to start creating a culture, you need to start by knowing yourself.
Absolutely.
Because the business is a ramification of your own person. In the case of my sister and I, we needed to do some discovery work on who we are and what we stand for, and who we wanted to be representing in the community, and we did that work. And then once you start with that, then you get to your values.
Right.
When you discover your own values, then you transfer that into the core company values. And by having the core company values, then you create systems around that you make sure everybody that comes to your business understand what those values are, and they respect those values. A lot of the success in having the right people is because a lot of the people that come to you, they already have some of those values. So it's easy for them to fit into the culture. And then you create systems around the interviewing process, the hiring, and even the firing, to identify who does not align with those values quickly. So one advice that I got early on was take your time hiring, but fire quickly. And once
Can you repeat that again? Take your time hiring, but
fire quickly.
Wow, okay.
But if you don't know when people do not align to your core values, then you take a long time to fire. And that's where the issues, the culture become toxic. And it doesn't mean they're bad people. It just means they may fit in a different culture somewhere else. And a lot of times I fire people quickly because I know who I am, and I know who we are as a company. And I want to give them the opportunity to go find something else, because I know they're not going to thrive in my business. Not because we're better than other business, it's just we're just different. Every business is different. So that's why we do quick firing, and then people that stay appreciate that, because you've probably been in a place where you have worked with everybody knew that person needed to be fired, and it took a while, or it never happened. Even worse, and then all you good people end up leaving because you're not able to take care of that person. So actually hiring and firing has become so easy once you discover that, and it's so hard for most business owners because they don't do the pre-work, and most importantly, they don't have the tools to create good systems around that. So that's what I really went into the table, which makes a huge difference. Like you said, once you get a handle of your culture and of your business,
that's the soul of the business.
Then you have motivated employees that perform at a very high level, that take care of your customers, take care of your business, and they let you know when you're messing up, because we're not perfect. So they contribute to the success of the business.
Right. So do you find that your clients bring you on board before they open a business, or do you find, or is it a mix where they're in business and they're like, oh my goodness, I'm ready to scale, I don't know how to, or I don't know what I'm doing, I need help?
Yeah.
Because here at Vision and Heels, we have 48 businesses that are affiliated with us, and we see them at all different stages. And you know, for the work that you do, when do you see typically that a business owner would call you in to work with them?
The best business client for me is the one that is really stressed out and has a lot of problems.
Already
is
operating.
deep into
Okay.
frustration.
And that's good, because a lot of folks don't want to deal with them.
Yeah, no, that I
So
love
that's
that,
good.
and that's where my background kind of comes
Awesome.
in, because I love solving problems, and the bigger the problems, the better. To be honest, which you know, my wife thinks I'm weird, but
Yeah, not too many people
if
would
I don't
jump
have problems, I get bored.
Yeah, oh, wow,
So
okay.
so then problems are good, and they're great opportunities to grow. That's why I love them.
Right.
I mean, I just don't like creating problems or solving problems,
Right.
because I love the opportunity that
To solve
creates
it.
when you come
Yeah.
after that. So that's my ideal customer. Now, some of those customers are ready to get some help when they're in that situation
Right.
because they're desperate. Some of them, they want to keep struggling.
Right.
And being there, done that. I
Right.
struggled for a long time when I started. And
So you can identify if they're
Oh.
not ready.
I totally know.
Okay.
And I wish somebody would come to me and say, don't do that.
Right.
Get some help. Because I did end up getting help afterwards.
Eventually.
I got a coach
Yeah.
and got me out of the situation. Because, you know, I'm not smart enough to do it yourself. And you need a team, and you need somebody that sees your business from the outside. Because you're so much in it that you don't see things yourself.
Right.
And once that happened for me, then made a big difference.
Right.
So I see some business owners in that phase where they're struggling, but they don't ask for help. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they didn't do that,
Mhm.
but you know, some of them, they need to go through that process
Right.
until they get to the point, okay, I can't do it myself. I need to get some help.
Or they'll ask for help from someone that doesn't know, right? Or it's
Which is
struggling
even
just
worse.
with them, like, you know, another struggling business, right? So they're giving each other bad
Yeah.
advice. Whereas you have a proven concept. You've been in business 20 years. You've been through the ups, downs, everything. And you're able to show them, hey, this is what I was able to do. Let's create some systems. Let's look at your people and make sure you're in alignment. That's
Yes.
amazing.
That is, and that's why the statistics are so bad. You know, businesses failing. You know, you think about like 80% fail
Yeah,
within the
the
first
first 5 years,
5
right?
years.
Wow.
It's crazy, and I think it's mostly because a lot of new entrepreneurs, they don't ask for help.
Right.
They think, and I'm including me
Right.
when I started, they think operating a business is common sense,
Right.
and it's really not.
Really not.
It's really not. You need a different kind of thinking.
Yeah.
You need a different kind of skills.
Right.
You need a different kind of vision.
Mhm.
You need to work on your leadership skills yourself, and you know that is a lifetime process. But if you don't have anybody that tells you what you're doing wrong or what you could do being better, your progress is very little, and then the business doesn't wait for you.
Right.
Your customers stop
Right.
coming, and you have to pay bills, so
Right.
then you have to close.
Right.
But if you get somebody that can accelerate that process of improving, then you have a better chance of you catching up and provide better service, better product, and thus get more income so you can, you know,
Right.
have a successful business.
So not only are they getting the coaching aspect from you, right, but they're also leaving with something tangible,
Yes,
where they
and
have a plan, where they have, you know, processes, they have systems that they can now implement.
yeah, the reason for that is because I've been a part of a nonprofit organization for 14 years.
Okay.
And we've been coaching businesses everywhere, here in the town and in other countries.
Wow.
And I found over the years that a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with, okay, now they got the theory, the advice, but then how do I apply that to my business?
Right.
So if you only get the coaching, you know, you really add some value, but not enough,
Mhm.
right? Because the most value is when you learn something and then you can apply it to your
Right.
business. So that's what I do now. I didn't want to be just a coach to give theory or an educator, which I don't mind doing. I like doing that. But I'm more about the impact,
Right.
about changing the culture in as little as 90 days.
Right.
And, you know, changing the way you think in a matter of a conversation.
Right.
and changing the way you operate your business in a matter of days rather than years.
Wow. So
So-
the results can be pretty quick.
Very quick.
I love
Yeah.
it. I love it.
Especially if the owner is ready to
Ready,
take the help
yeah.
and ready to think differently and ready to do what he has never done, because there's another saying that says to get what you never have, you have
gotta
to
do
do
what
what you
you've
never
never done.
done.
Yeah.
And that is crucial.
Yeah.
Because if you just want to do what you keep doing, you're gonna keep getting the same results.
Same results.
Unless you're willing to change drastically.
Isn't that kind of the definition of insanity?
That is.
We
is.
don't want to be insane, guys. We want to be fully sane, running successful businesses. But Manny, this is amazing. Thank you for all the information. I know you on a personal level as well as a professional level. And you're amazing at what you do. Such an inspiration to many.
Thank you.
Thank you for welcoming us in the community. You've been amazing to us, you and your family. It's great to see Nora at the supermarket and all the local places, and just people recognizing her for what you guys bring to the community. When I speak of you, I say Manny, and they're like, huh? I'm like, De La Vega. Oh, yeah. So once I say De La Vega, everyone knows who you are and who your sister is. And that speaks volumes, right? That just shows that you guys are truly a staple in our community and looking to do great things, right? And continue to create leaders within the community, right? Help us build businesses that are going to stick around, because this is what creates a healthy financial environment, right? It's us small businesses, right? Continuing to flourish, to stay around, not to close, right? And you're part of that. So it's something you should definitely be proud of. I don't see why any business wouldn't be running to you, especially that you're willing to help in the problem phase. I definitely send folks your way too, because I know what you do. And just look it up. Go to his restaurant on a Friday, and you can see it's crowded. People are waiting outside to get in. That just speaks volumes of what you guys do and bring to the community. So I just want to thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you. And
Yes.
we've been blessed to be in a great community like the land, where everybody kind of has that same spirit and help
Yes.
each other out. So it makes it a lot easier to want to give back and always trying to find ways to contribute. And that's how you become a valuable part of the community by giving.
Right.
And then you get a lot more in return. We got all these great customers who've been with us for, the 20 years that we've been in business. They've seen my kids grow, and now they were working at the restaurant, and now they recognize my kids. My kids they come to me and like, how do they know me? Like, well, they've seen you since you were
grow.
like
Yeah.
3.
That's awesome.
And so that's
So you're
that's a
like
blessing.
family to everyone.
Yeah,
That's
and
awesome.
everyone's a family to us. So,
That's
and then
awesome.
we also welcome newcomers. We have a lot of new customers,
Yeah.
especially now that a lot of people coming to the land.
Yeah, the community
And-
is growing.
Yeah.
We are growing, which is amazing to see. I know some folks are like, don't grow too much.
Yeah.
But it's great to see. We're an amazing city, and people want to be here, right? Because we have everything here. You don't have to leave the town, which is great.
Yeah.
Thank you again, Manny. I appreciate it.
You're
This was
welcome,
so
Jenny.
much fun.
Okay.
And I am super excited to see you grow, continue to grow,
Thank you.
because you're already a staple, and I look forward to celebrating my 20th year here in DeLand as well.
Awesome.
I still got 18 and a half years left. Thanks again.
Well, thank you so much.